ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a wonderful program in conversation with the director. It's indeed wonderful to see such a august gathering, and especially the students coming from the Chennai Film School. Welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are indeed pleased and honored to have a very eminent director, Vetrimaaran, who is an Indian film director. Vetrimaaran has been working in the Tamil film industry, and he made his directorial debut with a critically acclaimed movie, Polad Havan. This was in 2007. His second feature film, Ad Kalam, in 2011, won 5 National Film Awards. With Vetrimaaran receiving 2 awards for Best Direction and Best Screenplay. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to welcome on stage the eminent director from the Tamil film industry, Mr. Vetrimaaran, on the stage. And to converse with this young dynamic director, we also have a dynamic personality. He has produced the acclaimed album Vande Mataram and Jana Gana Mana video. He has directed a short film, Hari Omini, in 2004, and in 2013 he completed his first feature film, Marianne, which opened to good review. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting to you the heads of the Bharat Balla production, Mr. Bharat Balla. Welcome, sir. Mr. Bharat Balla, could you do the honors of presenting a memento to our esteemed director on behalf of Entertainment Society of Goa? Well, gentlemen, I leave the floor open for your program on conversation with the director. Thank you.
Vanakkam. Namaskar. Good morning, everybody. First and foremost, I would like to request IFI in future when they're introducing regional films to get their diction correct, announce it properly. Huh? You know, we don't make mistakes with Hindi films, don't make mistakes with our Tamil films. So, you know, who am I to talk to him? But you know, he's been inspiring me. So let me begin like that. Okay. So, Vetrimaaran, the word itself has a victory in it already. Okay. So he has been sent out to this world to conquer through cinema. Vetri, from the first film itself, you started with Polladavan. You announced yourself like, I'm a bad guy. Okay? And you continue to do that. Why is that?
Okay, first thing, I just need to make a clarification on the name part of it. Okay, first thing, I didn't have anything to do with the name. And secondly, before the release of my first film, like 3 days prior to the film, while we were watching the first copy, while the grading was happening, we were checking the film reel by reel, and I called my friends, like, who've been with me throughout. Like, I called them and asked them, மச்சான் என்னடா பேர் அப்படியே வச்சுக்கலாமா இல்லை வெறும் மாறன்னு வச்சுக்கலாமா because I know one thing for sure, when people are saying that okay, your name has got this, you're going to do this, one film they'll say okay, Vetrimaaran has become Tolvi Maran in this film. So one film that will come. So I was very conscious of that fact, and I wanted to play it safe and ask my friends whether we should go just with Maran. And they said, no, no, for this film, Vetrimaaran would be fine, they said. So then like I had to go with the name. And
Thank God you didn't say Maran. With fun in it.
so with the title of the first film, that was that is something that I still regret, and because initially I had that for a few who would not have watched that film. That film is about a boy and his love for his motorbike. So the title that we originally had was Irumbu Kudirai, a title of Balakumaran's novel. So, An Iron Horse. So that was the initial title that we had. Then the producers said, no, no, it is not catchy. We need to come up with something very interesting. And Dhanush, being Rajnikant's son-in-law, the producers want to capitalize on that, and they were coming up with really really weird titles. They said, தம்பிக்கு எந்த ஊர் அப்படின்னு வச்சா எப்படி இருக்கும் அப்படின்னு கேட்டாங்க. Then I said, சார் என்ன சார் ரெண்டு பேரும் ஒரே ஊர்ல இருக்காங்க, தம்பிக்கு எந்த ஊர்னு எப்படி சார் வரும்? இல்ல இல்லம்மா, அங்க போய் அவன் பேசுறான்ல, டே எந்த எந்த ஏரியாடா உனக்கு, எந்த ஊர் அப்படின்னு மாத்திக்கலாம்ல நம்ம ஒரு டைலாக். And அவுட் ஆஃப் அனாயன்ஸ் ஐ டோல்ட், அதுக்கு பொல்லாதவன்னு வைக்கலாம் சார். Then said, இது நல்லா இருக்கு, இதை வச்சிடலாமே. Then I called Dhanush and said, Dhanush, see, the producer wants me to keep this title. I'm totally pissed off. I don't want this title to be like as my film's title. What do you feel? Sir, like whatever you're saying is right, sir. But personally, you ask me, I also like the title. He said. So, when he liked the title, then I didn't have any other goal. That's how it became Polladavan. So apart from that, I didn't have anything to do with that title. I still regret having that, like having everybody influence me to let that title be part of the film.
Okay. You know, let's get into the hard facts. Okay. You've already made 3 films, correct? And you're also producing now. So there seems to be like a kind of 2 different paths that you're taking. One as a filmmaker, one nurturing talents and producing films, right? The content seems to be totally different. You, in all, whether it's Polladavan, Adukulam, Visaranai, the central, there is a lot of violence in your movies, okay? Whereas you have a great heart when you have produced a film like Kakamottai, okay? So what is all this? Why? Why is violence somewhat, is it the society that is telling you, or what is it? Just, you know, why is it that is part of your central part of the narrative so far in your films?
I think every scriptwriter, when he has a script or when he has an idea to tell, I think it's more about what he has within him. For me, as a person and a writer, if a content gives me space to grow as an individual, as a human being, to know more about life and understand things better than I used to before I started writing the script, I tend to finish the script. Or else what happens is, like, I write, like, everything for me looks like a script, like both of us sitting and talking, and like 100 people sitting here, like, well, one of them looks like a protagonist to me. Then I keep thinking of an idea, but when I go out of this room, that idea fizzles out. So something that really keeps me keeps me engaged and engrossed and lets me grow as I'm thinking about the content. So those are the kind of scripts that I complete. And when I complete those scripts, then I start working on the script. Only then, once I finish the script, only I then think in terms of making it into a film and other things. After writing the film, I realize the film is violent. So it's me. So it's the scriptwriter who does it. And every film has its own rhythm, and that rhythm comes from the filmmaker. It is not like, it cannot be influenced. Every time I start a film, I'll tell my friends, like, who work with me, okay, this film, let's not have night effects. Like, let's reduce the night effects. Let's keep as minimum night effects as possible. When I finish the script, it will be 50% of the scenes are in the night and 50 in the day effect scenes. While finishing the film, we'll realize like 70% of the film is shot during nights. So I have an affinity towards nights because during college days, I I used to sleep from 3 o'clock in the afternoon till 11 o'clock, then wake up, stay awake the whole night, go to tea shops, come back, read, write, talk. Then again, morning 6 o'clock, I used to go to college straight without sleeping. So that is there in me, and that's getting reflected. The liking for night effect. And every time I start my edit, I say, okay, let me space out this film, let me have lengthy shots, let me make this film a little slow paced. That's my intellect that's telling me how to keep my film. But when the it will be like that until I say, okay, let's sit for the final cut, final edit. Then it becomes erratic because that is me. So every time my editor also says like, sir, rombo fast கொஞ்சம் ஸ்லோவா பண்ணலாமே சார், கொஞ்சம் ஸ்லோவா இருக்கலாம் சார், கொஞ்சம் சஸ்டெயின் பண்ணலாம் சார். I will like final trim. When it comes to the final trimming, I I do that. You know, I make it very fast. So that is me. That is the uh, what to say. That is the the person in me, inside me. It doesn't have anything to do with the intellect or my nurturing.
But I'm sure.
When I sorry,
No,
please.
finish,
So
I'm
when
sorry.
I choose a film to make, especially a film like Kaka Muttai, when he just told the idea, it was so exciting for me, and I knew that I have a great content with me, and I realized that this is something that I will never be able to tell, and I really wanted someone to tell this film to the world. So that's why I mean, that's when I brought in Dhanush, and I asked him to read the script, and he liked it. That's how it was made into a film. Sorry, you were asking.
Having said that, just the audience should know that Kaka Muttai, which came out and went to Toronto and many other film festivals.
Last
and
week it won an award.
Yeah,
in
it won the
Golden
national award
Horse.
also.
Golden Horse.
Yeah. Has also become one of the most successful box office films in Tamil cinema. So I think that is the magic of saying that, it competed with some of the best big star films. And in Chennai, Satyam Theatre's main screen means if you get that, only the big stars get it. But whereas Kaka Muttai showed couple of weeks in that main screen. So really proud of it. Now, we moved from violence, right? So you explained why those things happen. But will you ever make a love story?
I've been trying to make one. Every time I start making it, I end up doing something else. So Dhanush tells me, sir, you're a very romantic filmmaker. You don't know how romantic
Yeah,
you make your
yeah.
scenes. So you call me tonight and say, Dhanush, let's shoot a romantic film tomorrow. I'll come to the sets. He always says that. See, I feel that love is an integral part of life, especially when you're making a mainstream film. It is needed because love is something that is an ideal that has been said to us, and we all know that no one could live up to that ideal. So it's something that is so elusive and so sure. It's so close, yet it is not there. So we always want to have a final thing about a relationship. That's why that happily lived ever after thing is there in fiction. In fiction, so that contradiction makes it very appealing for all of us to have or to tell a love story or to watch a love story. But for me, only when you write a script, if it's just a love story, I feel that we are somehow cutting it off from real life. If it's going to be with a period, if it's going to reflect a particular generation's attitude and understanding about life and relationships, then I would really try doing it.
Now let's just talk about Adukulam, and then we'll go to many other things. Adukulam had won 5 national awards, became a successful film. for almost for the entire team. Okay. Now, interestingly, I want to share that I was in the jury of the national award at the time, and I saw Adukulam for the first time in the while at the national award jury screening.
And another important point is, until that point, I didn't know him.
Yeah, well, that's very true, very true. Now, in fact, after seeing the film, I tried to find out who is Vetrimaaran and then connected with him, on the day of the announcement, and wanted to give a 10-second lead, but I didn't do that. But what was interesting was that uh, usually, I just want to take a minute about National Award and how it swept the awards. Okay, so basically, there are so many films come, so many films. We watched 63 films. Okay, in a matter of whatever 20 odd days to arrive at 27 days to arrive at the national awards. Now, uh, when finally one has looked at so many films and you have only so many awards to give, right? And so there was a kind of a tendency that this film is getting best director, let's give best actress to this film, let's give editing to this film. But we debated and said, no, a film is good because it is good in every department. You cannot distribute awards. A film is good means it will suck you in all departments and take it. It's not good just because of editor alone or a choreographer alone or a actor alone, but everybody has come together, so it just sucked in, and that's the reason. After a long time, you will see that 5 awards went to yeah, and a special mention also for Art Club. Now, Articulum, when I looked at it, even though Palladavan was a kind of a traditional commercial cinema, Articulum did not reflect that. Okay, you have commercial stars in it, but the film was very more realistic. And how are you able to do even though you are in the main space, but your narrative is different from the traditional commercial cinema. So how do you achieve that?
I don't uh, I don't have an answer for this because nothing was done consciously. I personally feel that all creative decisions are very intuitive. Intuitive in the sense, we have synthesized the whole script writing process, and it comes out of us with a spontaneity where we are unable to pinpoint and say this is why happened, this is why this happened. See, none of us here would be able to say when we decided that we'll be making films. That first sparks, the first decision, we really don't know. That is the kind of synthesis that happens with everybody, all of us here, and we just want to be here, do things. And for me, my schooling was with the Balamahendra sir, who strongly believed in writing scripts that are close to life, and he always makes his scripts in such a way that he avoids contrived situations, and even while he has certain contrived situations, he'll know how to balance it. And I grew watching him do it. In the process, it totally got synthesized into me. I really don't know how to do it, but you give me an option, I'll say okay, that is working and this is not working. That much I can say. But the most important part I feel is when writing a film like this or making a film which needs to be close to reality, I, everything comes into place, starting from the geography, location, and the space, and the actors, the time, everything comes into play, including the costumes. Because for films like that, and most of Balamahendra's assistants do this. Like, we go there, we buy new dresses, and we keep it with them, like with us, and we see a person there, we call him. உங்கள் சைஸ்க்கு ஏற்ற மாதிரி சட்டை எடுத்துகிட்டு உங்களோட பழைய சட்டை ஒரு 4 கொடுங்கன்னு வாங்கிக்குவோம். So we get their costumes, their clothes, and we make the actors use that. Starting from that, everything contributes to making the film look real. And Adagalam has every regular commercial thing in it. It has got one protagonist, he's got one love interest. அதுவும் வந்து ரொம்ப டிப்பிக்கலாக சொல்லணும்னா ஒரு வெள்ளையா இருக்கிற பொண்ணு இருப்பா. So it had everything in a regular way. But
வெள்ளையா இருக்கிற பொண்ணு இருக்கிறா is okay, correct. But what is happening is, why is it that a person who doesn't even understand the language is always chosen the actress?
that's something that I'm really trying to find an answer to. And that film, that Tapsi didn't know anything about Tamil or நடிக்கவும் தெரியாது தமிழும் தெரியாது அந்த டைமில் அவங்களுக்கு அப்போ வந்து it was very tough, really tough for her, not for us. எனக்கு வந்து அந்த படத்தில் என்னன்னா எனக்கு அதை விட பெரிய சேலஞ்ச் இருந்தது ஜெயபாலன். ஸோ அதனால எனக்கு வந்து அவங்களோட இது எனக்கு பெருசாக தெரியல. பிகாஸ் வித் ஜெயபாலன் we he 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 is a poet, he is a very sensitive person, sensible person, but he really didn't understand film geography. ஒரு நாள் அவசரமாக ஷூட் பண்ணிட்டு இருந்தோம், we were shooting in haste, and so we were cheating. ஒரு பக்கம் லைட் பண்ணியிருந்தோம், அண்ட் தென் ஓகே இப்படி அவரை திரும்பி நிற்க வச்சு இப்படி எங்கே இருந்து பேசுங்க. ஹீ ஸ்டார்டட் ஆர்கியூவிங். நோ 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 வை ஆர் யூ டர்னிங் மீ? நோ ஐ வாஸ் ஸ்டாண்டிங் ஹியர் அண்ட் லுக்கிங் அட் ஹிம் தேர், ஹீ வாஸ் ஸ்டாண்டிங் தேர். நவ் யூ மேக் மீ டர்ன் திஸ் சைட் அண்ட் டாக். ஹூ am I talking to? No, 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 this is film. This is how it happens. There's something called an imaginary line. There's 180 degree and all those things I was telling him. No, 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 no. You are going against geography. I am an anthropologist. I need an explanation, he said. So it was really, really tough to make him understand what films and film acting was. There were certain scenes I thought that he would never be able to perform. So, especially one scene where he talks to his wife, young wife, about his past and his future. So I knew for sure that he will not be able to perform that scene. So the first shot of the scene, what we did was we switched off the light and made him talk in the dark. So that's, and we lit him up in such a way that he's like, you feel that he's lost something and like lost everything in life. So that way we had to resort to so many things to do it. And Tapsi, we didn't do that much. We did very little. We're coming back to this article, I'm having everything in whatever that is required for a regular mainstream, successful mainstream film. The what to say, the thing that went beyond the regular mainstream film was the universal truth that it was discussing about the jealousy of a mentor over a student. That was not restricted only to that particular field, it is everywhere. A HOD feeling it towards a professor, or a doctor to a senior doctor to a young doctor. So this is a universal theme. Yeah. So the alpha male being chased out by the next generation and the alpha male resisting it. It's a universal truth and a primal truth. That is what made the film appeal beyond languages. Like when I was in Mami this year, one guy, like one I think was a Telugu speaking boy. I really don't know whether he's a Telugu speaking person or a Hindi speaking person. He came to me and told that, sir, Adakalam is the reason why I am into films. He's not a Tamil guy, but still that was able to influence him. So that aspect came through the universal truth that it was dealing. So I feel a film becomes more appealing and more the connect the viewer has with the film becomes more with the basic emotion or the basic universal truth that it is going to deal with, rather than the packaging that we give. The packaging might appeal when you have it as a teaser or a whatever it is, like, to draw the audience in, for them to come sit in and connect. It needs to deal with a bigger truth. Sometimes people have it without their knowledge.
Two, three questions that I already asked. So about the institutions that he said, Visarana particularly is about police brutality, and it goes against our normal norm of knowing what police stands for. So that will be one. I would love to talk about that. And in Visarana, the characters, especially even though they are brutal and they are wrong, but there is this whole moral background to each. I mean, there is that morality that comes from the crimes they do. So how
You watch the film?
yeah. I mean, I love. I mean, after 5-10 minutes, nobody spoke about it, and we just let the film grow on us. That was the best at Mami this year. I think, so. So I want to highlight, I mean, this whole movement of giving morality to crime came from cinematic. I think you're inspired by that. So I just wanted to highlight about all this.
I didn't giving morality to a crime. I didn't understand that
In
aspect.
terms of whatever crime happens, it's not just like I'm getting violence, violence, violence to excite my cinematic
Yeah.
taste. The violence is
See, yeah, uh, I generally don't have violence in my films, to glorify violence or to cherish violence. Especially Visaranai is a here the violence is out of compassion for the person who's affected, and the guy who's inflicting the pain is not the one who's the protagonist. Generally, it's when the protagonist goes and beats up the other people, we clap and we are very happy. Worldwide, that's what is happening. But here with Visaranai, it is not that. Uh, the violence being used as a tool to tell the viewer that these sufferings exist. Like we coexist with this kind of suffering, and it could happen to you, it could happen to me, it could happen to everybody, and we need to open up and we need to voice what should be done and how it has to be done. So,
and regarding the police brutality in the film.
Okay.
சார் ஃபஸ்ட் சாரி எனக்கு இங்கிலீஷில் ஃப்ளூவெண்ட்டாக பேச வராது, நான் தமிழில் கொஞ்சம் கேட்குறேன் சார். இப்போ ரீசெண்டாக நான் பார்க்குறேங்க சில படங்கள் வந்து ஹாலிவுட் ஸ்டைலில் இருக்குது, ஃப்ரெண்ட் ஸ்டைலில் எடுக்கிறாங்க அப்படின்னு. நம்ம தமிழ் சினிமாவில் தான் சொல்கிறேன். அந்த அடுத்த இன்னொரு ஸ்டைலையும் நம்ம ஃபாலோ பண்ணிகிட்டு இருக்கோமே. நம்மளுக்குன்னு தமிழ் சினிமா, இந்தியன் சினிமா நம்மளுக்கு ஒரு ஸ்டைல் வேணாமா? அதை நீங்கள் அப்படி ஒன்று க்ரியேட் பண்ணி நீங்கள் முயற்சி பண்ணுவீங்களா?
the film language வந்து there is no boundaries of film language, and of course every language has its own unique filmmaking style. Every language has its unique film style, but to have that, in the first place you need to have strong theory. On theory you base your film language, on theory you base your script, but we don't have any guidelines of that sort. We read what is being set as film theory in Hollywood or the new wave, whatever it is. We need to come up with certain new and like we need to come up with things that are required for our country, and then work on the aspect, like the filming aspects, and then comes the filmmaking. So அது பண்ணும்போது தான் நம்மளுக்கு அது கிடைக்கும்.
How are casting actors for your series, other than hero role?
You just have to get my mail ID and send you photograph to that.
No, not that, sir. I'm asking generally once you get a script.
Okay, see that's most of the time happens accidentally. We have a character in mind, you just go through the photographs that has been sent to you, or you just watch video links, and sometimes someone comes, like you meet someone and you think that this guy could be the guy, and you go ask him if he wants to act. If he's ready to act, then he's part of the film. Or else you, while writing itself, you have a seasoned actor in mind, and you say, okay, this guy will be able to do justice to my role. So you talk to that person, bring him in, that's all.
மதுரை கலமாத்து ஒரு படம் இருக்குது. அது வந்து தனுஷ் வந்து எப்பவுமே மதுரையில் ஒரு பேண்ட்டே போடாத ஒருத்தர், எப்பவுமே லுங்கி கட்டி படிக்காத ஒருத்தர், சேவை சண்டை அந்த மாதிரி சுற்றி இருக்கிற ஒருத்தர். அவருக்கு ஆங்கில இந்தியாவில் ஒரு பொண்ணோட காதல் வருது அப்படின்னு சொல்கிறத நீங்கள் எப்படி சார், அதை வந்து மதுரை வந்து தான் அதை வந்து கதையை எழுதுனீங்களா, இல்லை அவங்களுக்குள்ள தோணுனதா, இல்லை அந்த மதுரை மக்கள் வந்து ரசிப்பாங்கன்னு நீங்கள் எதிர்பார்த்தீங்களா?
இப்போ அது சரின்றீங்களா தப்புன்றீங்களா?
இல்லை சார், நான் ஒரு ஆங்கில இந்தியன் பொண்ணை பார்க்கும்போது ஒரு அதிசயமாக தான் பார்ப்பேன் நான். அதனால நான் கேட்குறேன் இந்த கேள்வி.
இல்லை, நம்ம எல்லாருமே அப்படி தான் பாப்சி. எவ்ரிபடி டூ தட். எனக்கு வந்து என்னென்னா, சின்ன வயசுலேருந்தே வந்து நிறைய ஆங்கிலோ இந்தியன் ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ் இருந்தாங்க. டியூரிங் மை காலேஜ் டேஸ் எனக்கு நிறைய அந்த மாதிரி ஆங்கிலோ இந்தியன் ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ் இருந்தாங்க. அவங்க வீட்டிலலாம் பார்த்தா இந்த கேர்ள்ஸ் வந்து இந்த மாதிரி பசங்களை தான் இது பண்ணும். there was a major issue while we were shooting for that film. So we had a major problem. Anglo-Indian Associationலேருந்து வந்து they didn't want us to shoot the film that way. Because they were saying எங்க பொண்ணுங்க வந்து இந்த மாதிரி வந்து படிச்ச பசங்களை லவ் பண்ணிட்டு கூட்டு போறாங்கன்னா கூட பரவாயில்ல, இந்த மாதிரி பசங்களை லவ் பண்றாங்க நீங்க படம் எடுத்துடுறீங்க, தட் இஸ் இன்ஃப்ளூயன்சிங் கேர்ள்ஸ். எங்க பொண்ணுங்களுக்கு நிறைய ப்ராப்ளம் வருது, அதில் யூ நீட் டு ஸ்டாப் தட் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு ஒரு நிறைய ப்ராப்ளம்ஸ் எல்லாம் பண்ணாங்க. அப்புறம் பேசி கன்வின்ஸ் பண்ணி தான் நாங்கள் அதை ஷூட் பண்ணோம்.
அதான் சார், மதுரையில் வந்து அந்த மாதிரியான பெண்கள் இருக்கிற வீட்டில் இருக்கிற பெற்றோர்கள் வந்து வெறுப்பானாங்க அதை பார்த்துட்டு. ஏன்னா இந்த மாதிரி பையனெல்லாம் லவ் பண்ணுற மாதிரி இருந்தால் அப்புறம் சினிமாவை பார்த்துட்டு அந்த பொண்ணு கெட்டு போயிருமே அப்படின்னு. ஆனால் எங்களை மாதிரியான பசங்க ஒரு கெத்தாயிடுச்சு, நாங்கள் இனிமேல் அந்த மாதிரியான பொண்ணெல்லாம் பார்க்கலாம், அதுங்க எங்களை பார்க்குங்க போல அப்படி.
எடிட்டர் கிஷோர சார் பற்றி.
கிஷோர் வந்து எனக்கு, நான் காதல் வைரஸ்னு கதிர் சரோட ஒரு படம் ஒர்க் பண்ணேன். அப்போ அதுக்கு வந்து விடி விஜய், ஓகே, கிஷோர் இஸ் மை எடிட்டர். அண்ட் while I was working as an assistant director with Kadir sir for a film called Kadal Virus, he had just then joined VT Vijayan. Kishore is my editor, and while I was working as an assistant director with Kadir sir for a film called Kadal Virus, he had just then joined VT Vijayan. VT Vijayan is a very popular film editor in Tamil. So he had just joined VT Vijayan. Ever since, we both had a very good relationship and rapport. While I was trying to make films, he used to call me and say, "Sir, இந்த மாதிரி இங்க கதை கேட்குறாங்க சார், இந்த ப்ரொடியூசர் கதை கேட்குறாங்க, நீங்கள் போய் சொல்லுங்க." So I used to go meet those producers and narrate scripts. Then if I get a good DVD which is very interesting, which had a very interesting edit pattern, I used to give it to him and say, "Kishore, இது பாருங்க, நல்லா இருக்கு, edit பாருங்க." And when I got the first film, I went and met VT Vijayan. He was my editor. So அவர்கிட்ட என்ன சொன்னேன்னா, சார், we will work, நான் உங்களோட பண்ணுறேன், but I will have Kishore with me. We will work and then we'll show you the final so that you can you can give your inputs after we do the edit. He asked me, no, I'll give you an associate. Will Kishore be enough for you to work? I said, no, we are fine. Like, no, he's my friend. We have worked together. We'll do it. Then after Vijayan saw the film, he called Kishore and told him that you take the credits for editing this film. I'll be the editing supervisor. So that's the kind of contribution Kishore had in Polladavan, or for that matter, all three of my films. And அப்போ கிஷோர் என்ன சொன்னார்னா, இல்லை சார், எனக்கு வேண்டாம் சார், this is a film you were supposed to edit and I shouldn't take credits for a film that I'm working as an assistant in this film and I don't want to take the credits as the editor for this film. Then I started the Adukalam again 4 years later. அதுக்குள்ள வந்து அவர் ஈரம்னு ஒரு படம் பண்ணியிருந்தாரு. When I started working on Adukalam, I went and we started editing. He was the first one to see the rushes. Adukalam rushes was the first schedule of Adukalam. I saw the film and like we edited it for some 35 minutes and I was totally lost. I thought, okay, it's gone. No, the film is not in my hand. It's gone out of my hand. I've lost the plot. I've lost the film. And Kishore was the one who told me, "Illa sir, nalla irukku sir. Wait பண்ணுங்க சார், நல்லா வரும் சார், அடுத்த ஷெட்யூல் முடிப்போம்." Like he was the one who identified the film. Because for me it was lost. He was the one who identified the film and he made me like, kind of get the right kind of things for the film in the second schedule. And Visaranai, we had finished the first edit. We were at that point we were working to send the film to Khan. He was edit பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கும்போது அப்படியே மயங்கி கீழே விழுந்தாரு. We took him to the hospital and like 6 hours later they said he's brain dead. So that's how Kishore has always been an integral part of my filmmaking career. He's my extension. So without him it's going to be a major handicap for me to do it. It's like what you say about brain cells, like if there are 100 cells in your brain and 20 brain cells die, the rest of you don't get new brain cells coming into the brain. The rest of the 80 brain cells compensate for the dead 20. So that's how it's for me without Kishore. So I will have to compensate without him. I will not be complete without him.
conversation with Kakamutti director Mr. Manigandan Gopal too. He told you watched his short film Win. Once you watched it, you got impressed and you asked him to do you have any new script for that? As the upcoming filmmakers, we need to do a short film first, or if we have the good script, we can directly go to the producer.
I feel that you need to understand filmmaking in the first place. So understanding filmmaking is the first aspect. Whether you make a short film or not make a short film, that's different. Because filmmaking is not just making films; it's also having more grit and being like to withstand pressure. To withstand pressure, you need to be exposed to that kind of pressure situations, or else you'll end up making a lot of money. You might be able to make a film, but to make the film effectively and efficiently within a given budget and within a given number of days, it needs a lot of practice. It doesn't come easily. So to do that, I feel that you need to be exposed to that kind of hardships. So doing internship with someone, or but making short films, I don't think gives you that.
You said about the movie Sudadi, whether that is your next film or any other plan.
இது ரொம்ப போர் அடிக்கிற ஒரு கேள்வி. ஆனால் வந்து அது கிடையாது படம். நான் வேற படம் தான் பண்ணுறேன். சொல்லுங்கள்
சார். நீங்கள் வந்து டேரக்டராகவும் பண்ணியிருக்கீங்க, ப்ரொடியூசராகவும் பண்ணியிருக்கீங்க சார். எது வந்து உங்களுக்கு மோர் சேலஞ்சாக இருந்துச்சு?
ப்ரொடியூசர்னால் வந்து டு பி வெரி ஃப்ரேங்க், ஐ டோன்ட் இன்வெஸ்ட் மணி. I identify a content. I ask someone with money to come and invest in the money if they like the content. So they invest. I am just a moderator. I identify the content and I identify an investor who likes the content. That's all. So எனக்கு அதில் வேலையே கிடையாது. And there is nothing exciting about being a producer. It's like being a father.
Okay, leave the producer. You don't like it. How about an actor? Think you? Yeah, you have a phenomenal face.
What happened was the first once I finished the first film, couple of people came and asked, ஒரு நல்ல கதை இருக்கு, ஓகே எதுக்கு இது எனக்கு சொல்றாங்க தெரியல, வெரி இன்ட்ரெஸ்டிங் ஃபிலிம், ஓகே so what, no we want you to play the lead. And that's been happening for a long time now. The last one to join is Mishkin. Like, he is challenged. Dhanush used to tell me, sir, you are torturing me so much by making me to do this, do that. One day I will become a director and I will make you act, and I will make you realize how hard it is to act with a guy like you, will say. Mishkin has joined that list now. He's pressurizing me now. But I feel, see, being a scriptwriter is a very egoistic state. Like, you play God. You create a character, you kill a character, you make two people fall in love, you do this, you do that. So that's a very spoiled state of mind. When you're writing a script, you expect that same kind of respect your characters give in the paper out of your friends and your family. It's a very spoiled state of mind. Being an actor is a very narcissistic state of mind. You take any actor, he would finally like his close-up. You ask how the films, superb, not that close-up is very nice. People say, So, being in an egoistic state of mind is dangerous. Being a narcissist is a dangerous state. Being an egoistic narcissist, you'll never be able to survive. See, I've seen many directors who could have been very big, losing out because they wanted to act. And I've seen great actors losing out because they wanted to write scripts. See, we all know Bhagiraj is a great scriptwriter and a director, but I personally feel he limited himself by writing only for himself. There are other scripts he wrote for others, like Kaidi and Diary for Bharati Raja. He's done written very exciting scripts for others. Had he been only a scriptwriter or director, he would have gone to more heights. That's my opinion. So, இன்னொன்னும் சொல்லலாம், லைக் வர்றதே சரியா செய்ய மாட்டோம், வராதெல்லாம் எதுக்கு ட்ரை பண்ணணும். That's I feel that it's better to keep only to writing.
Hello, sir. Sir, the thing is compromising in script. Is it healthy for the director? Because it locks our independent thoughts for creator.
Without compromise, you'll never be able to write a script. To complete a script, you'll have to compromise. உனக்கு பிடிச்ச மாதிரி உன்னால் ஒரு ஸ்கிரிப்ட் எழுதவே முடியாது. Only when you say, okay, this is fine, I like this, only then you'll end up making a film. And again, compromise is not just, the word is very, what to say, it's a very confusing word. Compromise வந்து கொஞ்சம் derogatory-ஆ தெரியும். Compromise அப்படி இருக்கு. No, it's making a choice. It's not compromise, it's making a choice. So you choose something, okay, you want this, but you choose this for that. That's been given to you. You've got only this. With this, you'll have to create that. So that's a choice, and that's a challenge with which you grow. And without that, you will never you will never write a complete script. Okay, sir, thank you.
Mr. Dhananjay. Please, let me introduce Mr. Dhananjay here. Being from the producing side, you haven't questioned the director.
Oh, no. I keep questioning Vetri all the time, whenever I meet him. He's one of the, very, what do you call, balanced directors who understands the commercial requirement of a film. And, the word rightly he said, it's not a compromise. It's a choice you make. Would you like to reach out to the larger audience, or you like to approach to a niche audience? All that he's trying to do in every film is to reach out to the larger audience, so that the commercial aspect of the film is taken care. At the same time, nowhere it's compromising on the creative ability of a filmmaker. So I think that's the best combination Vetri sir has got it, and hats off to him that he, along with Bala sir and Amir sir and so many directors, Sri Ram and all the people, are trying to bring in this balance between commercial and art cinema. That's very, very important.
Thank you.
So one final thing, very important thing, all of us should keep in mind. A filmmaker is as good or as bad as the previous film. So only if you make a film that gets back the money to your producer, you will get another film. So a filmmaker should keep making films. To make films, we need money. To get money, we need to get back the money that's been given to us. So that balance should always be there. That is, I feel that's very important. See, sometimes we might fail, but our intention should always be to get back the money in the first place. Then the other things is fine. At least we should get back the money that is invested with the print and publicity cost to the producer. That's very, very important, I feel.
See, this is all coming post he has become a producer.
No, definitely not. I have always been like this. No, I've always been like this. With Article also, people said, no, it might not work. I said, no, I will get back the money that my producer invested. I got him back, he invested 11 crores on the film. I got him 16 crores on the sale, and the distributor, Sun TV, made 26 crores out of the film. So, of course, Siritai made 43. That's a different story altogether. So,
The only thing I'll tell him is, he ensured that all his producers made money, but he is very lazy. He has to make more films so that more producers make money.
So I'm gearing up, sir. I'm gearing up. So starting the next film very soon.
Very good.
Thank you very much. Oh, you have one last question? Go ahead.
So you have said that filmmakers are not here to preach philosophies or morals like that. So what would be the responsibility of a filmmaker?
What is the film that you like the most? சொல்லுங்க டக்குன்னு சொல்லணும் எது
7G Rainbow Call.
சரி இல்லை ஓகே எழுந்துங்க வேர்ல்ட் சினிமாவில் எது ரொம்ப பிடிச்ச படம்
12 Angry Men.
ஓகே சரி அப்புறம் வேற என்ன படம்
So Titanic, Avatar, Seven Samurai.
ஓகே சரி ஓகே நிறைய சொல்லிட்டீங்க கன்ஃபியூஸ் ஆகி சொல்லிட்டீங்க இப்போ உங்களுக்கு முதல்ல மனசில் வந்து 7G தான் வந்துச்சு இல்லையா அதில் என்ன உங்களுக்கு ரொம்ப பிடிச்சிருந்தது
Rawness, sir.
என்ன ராவாக இருந்துச்சு
Close to life, sir. Somewhat close to life.
அப்போ உங்களுக்கு க்ளோஸ் டு லைஃபாக இருந்தால் உங்களுக்கு பிடிக்குது இல்லையா அது மாதிரி படங்கள் எடுங்க எது கருத்து சொல்லணும்னு பார்க்குறீங்க அதில் என்ன கருத்து சொல்லுவாங்க நீங்கள் சொன்ன எந்த படத்துலையுமே கருத்து இல்லை
I know that, sir, but what's the responsibility of a filmmaker? Apna inna the only getting back the money to the producer. or to entertain the audience.
அப்படின்னா நம்மளாம் இங்கே வரவே மாட்டோமேப்பா. See, you make a film for your people. உன் அடையாளங்களோட, உன்னுடைய தேவைகளோட, உன் மக்களுக்காக நீ என்ன சொல்லணும்னு நினைக்கிறியோ சொல்லு. அதை வந்து கருத்தா சொல்லாத. A film is a film. See, the problem with filmmakers, like here, filmmakers here, we are only storytellers. We are not filmmakers. We need to go beyond that. We need to start making films. But we are still storytellers. Storytellers-ஆக இருக்கும்போதே நம்ம கருத்து சொல்லணும்னா கருத்து மட்டும் தான் சொல்லிட்டே இருக்கணும். You take, see, any film that has been categorized as the best film in the world, like ஒரு top 100 films எடுத்தீங்கன்னா நீங்க கேட்குற கருத்து மாதிரியான கருத்துக்கள் எந்த படத்துலையுமே சொல்லியிருக்க மாட்டாங்க. They just depict life. Try to tell a life with which you say whatever that you want to say. ஒரு political, see, உங்க political view இருக்கலாம், but உங்க political statement உங்க film இருக்கக்கூடாது. Your film should have your political statement, but don't make it into a political statement.
It should have a voice.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
Yesterday we watched a film, Fences. There is no message. It's just an incident, and it moved everybody. That's all. It's true to life, and it's a fantastic film. That's it. You just watch the film, enjoy it. You feel nice about it. You're not.
But you're seeing characters. You're seeing emotions. I think that is what is your message is your emotion. Why are we always wanting
And, yeah,
some?
yes. Catharsis is very important. Emotional catharsis is. Catharsis is very important. Catharsisனா அது அதாவது எனக்கு இது அது இல்லை அதான் கத்தாசிஸ்ன்றது என்னன்னா தங்கத்தை நெருப்பில் இது பண்ணி அதை சுத்தப்படுத்துறது இருக்கு இல்லையா, அந்த ப்ராசஸ்க்கு தான் பேர் அது. அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு படம் வந்து உங்களை ஒரு ஏதோ ஒரு தளத்தில் அது மாதிரி ஆக்குச்சுன்னா, எமோஷ்னலாக அது ஒரு இடத்துல அப்படி மூவ் ஆக்குச்சுன்னா அது நல்லாயிருக்கும். க்ரீக் ட்ராஜடியுடைய ட்ரையாங்கிளில் அது ரொம்ப முக்கியமான ஒரு ஆஸ்பெக்ட். இந்த கத்தாட்டிக் எஃபெக்ட் வர்றதுன்றது ரொம்ப முக்கியமான எஃபெக்ட். ஸோ தட் வி நீட் டு ஸ்ட்ரைவ் இட். மேபி அது ட்ரை பண்ணலாம் அந்த மாதிரி.
Zorba, the Greek.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Okay. ஐயா
Sir, being a filmmaker, it's a lifelong just to be a filmmaker, or you may do your studies like history in PhD or being a professor. No, not like the PhD in films. No, being a professor and making a films, but it's not happen in India. Or being a sports person and while making a filmmaking. So could you tell?
See, filmmaking is a very time consuming and very taxing profession.
Aging profession.
Yeah.
Aging.
Yes. You see, most of the times you wouldn't have time for even family. So where would you have time for other things in life? And once you start writing a script, everything for you looks like a script for you. See, when there's a fight happening at home, like my wife would be screaming and like all of a sudden she'll use a phrase that will be very interesting. I'll think, okay, this could be used in a film. Then halfway through she'll stop and say, வேணா இப்போ நான் இப்போ ஏதாவது பண்ணனா இதை நீ ஏதாவது படத்தில் சீனா வைக்கணும்னு நினச்சிட்டு இருக்கேன். So that's how everybody works. So it's a life altering process. As a life altering process, you get influenced by it. But I do want to do a few other things. I want to farm. I want to be venture into farming. Venture into farming. விவசாயம் பண்ணணும்னு யோசிச்சுட்டு இருக்கேன். So I'm going to start that venture. So
how you blend with your film career?
No, that can't be a full-time profession because I don't know that. I grew watching films and I grew learning filmmaking. That can't be my profession. Like farming can't be my profession. That could be my retirement job.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thanks.